I'm your boy DJ Smiley here, and this morning we're just going to talk and try to educate on a couple of brides that actually sent in some questions on the feed through my Facebook feed, and they just needed some questions answered, so I'm going to try to educate them as best I can. These two ladies, one in particular, I know is their first time getting married, so they don't really have a clue. Even if you've been to a wedding before, you still don't know the ins and outs and behind the scenes on what it takes to make sure your event goes well. So, I'm going to read this out to you, and this was one of the questions. Not going to say any names or anything like that because I don't want to put anybody out there like that. But her post says, "Hello everyone, I'm trying to stick to under $3,000 to $4,000 for everything, not including the venue. How important is it to have a DJ?" That is her question. How important it is to have a DJ. In my opinion, I don't want to spend money on something we can just make a playlist and press play. I do have another year to make up my mind, but if anybody knows someone under $1,000 and that would be willing to travel to Lathrop, Missouri, please help. Okay. So I'm going to try to help educate her the best I can. Like I said, I understand there's budgets out there, and people are trying to save a little bit of money because there's a lot of expense when it comes into weddings, right? So with this, I would say, I'm sure you can probably find you a DJ under $1,000. Hopefully somebody closer to that area. But just to educate you on this, first things first is you do not want to put a playlist together and try to do this yourself on your wedding day. And there's many reasons for that. First of all, this is your day. This is your day to kind of sit back, relax, enjoy fellowship with family and friends. And you're just not going to have the time. Straight up, you're just not going to have the time. The brides and grooms, you're going to spend a lot of time talking to family members and guests. And depending on how many family members and guests you have, that's going to depend on how much talking you do. Because there's going to be a lot of hugs. There's going to be a lot of kisses. There's going to be a lot of, come take a photo with me. And you're not going to have the time to sit there and operate your phone to play songs and make sure the playlist is going smooth. And in that process, you'd be getting bugged by people that want to hear a certain song, or grandma and grandpa or Aunt Nancy or somebody wants to dance to a certain song. So you'd have to take time out of your schedule to make sure all those song requests are taken care of. Now, when it comes to spending money, that type of money on a wedding, and again, I understand that weddings aren't cheap by any means. But in the event of you having, just say, roughly 150 people at your wedding, just say average size wedding, usually, 100, 150, is like an average size wedding. That's 100, 150 people you're going to have to pretty much talk to, at least acknowledge, saying, thank you for coming, this and that. But I will say this. If you don't have a DJ or any type of entertainment there, I just feel for you because you spent a lot of money on a venue and people are going to cut out of there. Just say you got the venue until 11 o'clock, midnight or something like that. Say your wedding starts at 5 o'clock. So you have your ceremony right after that. You're outside, you're taking pictures, and then you have dinner starting at 6 o'clock roughly, right? If you don't have a DJ or some type of entertainment, at about 7 o'clock, people's done got full. There's really nothing going on. They're scratching their head, trying to find the right excuse to tell the bride and groom, okay, hey, we're going to go ahead and cut out Tom's got to work in the morning, or, grandma's got church in the morning and this and that. You're going to get that anyway, but usually, more often than not, maybe 30%, 25 to 30% of people leave anyway, regardless if there's something going on or not. 25% are going to try to cut out like right after dinner. You'll start seeing the older ones like, okay, well, I don't like driving in the dark. I can't see at night. I give you all these excuses, trust me, because I've heard them all, right? But for you, if you don't have a DJ, that's going to suck because now you're looking at about 75%, 80% of people's going to cut out of there, and they're going to be like, okay, well, we can still make a run down to Power and Light and, have some fun, have some drinks and this and that. And, it's just going to suck because you spent all this money on this venue, all this money on decorations to make the place look good. And then you're like, wow, where did time go? 2 hours and it's over. You don't want that. Now, if you got a DJ there, there's somebody that can entertain, somebody can get on the microphone, MC, give instructions, not necessarily instructions, but make announcements. You know what I mean? Like, in flow of the reception. So, like the first dance, the father-daughter dance, mother-son dance, dollar dances, things like that. And just kind of, keeping it fun for the guests. You want that. You don't want to be in charge of that. I'm going to be honest with you. That's, you're going to figure out that, man, we really wasted money on this venue and nobody's here. So now you're picking up tablecloths and flowers and all this stuff off, centerpieces off the tables and stuff at 7:30 and carrying alcohol that you didn't even use out by 8 o'clock. You're done. You're out of there. So, what I would say is this. DJs they do a lot of work. You know what I mean? They do a lot of work. And to find one under $1,000 to do a wedding, it's possible. It's possible. But it is work. And the reason it's work is because it's a lot of preparation that goes into this. We're talking about months before your wedding, just getting music ready and playlist itinerary, making sure they're on schedule, making sure all the equipment is legit. You got everything you need. If, I don't know if you need cold sparks, photo booths, you name it. There's a lot of work that goes into it. Mind you, they're there setting up 2 hours at least before your event for the most part. Professional DJs anyway. And then they're there probably an hour after you to take down and, tear stuff down and load into their load their equipment back into their vehicles, trailers, trucks, whatever, and taking back to storage. So there's a lot of work that goes into a DJ. Now, here's my thing. And we talked about this in one of the seminars that I attended. And one of the guys, he really had me this last year just doing weddings. He really had me just kind of looking out and seeing how things, priced out, and what bride and grooms actually spend their money on and what they can kind of cut cost on to, reserve enough money to even hire a DJ or hire some kind of band for entertainment or stuff like that. But, I'm going to say, honestly, the DJ and the photographer and your food is probably the top three, by far, is the top three most important things you should have at your wedding and you should take care of at your wedding. So, with that, here's just something to look at. Let's say you have 150 people at your wedding, right? And you got 150 people, and let's say you have roughly 10, let's say 10 people at a table. So let's just say 15 tables, right? So you purchase flowers for centerpieces at this wedding, right? So I booked out the prices of flowers, the prices for decorations at the table and all that type of stuff. I priced all this stuff out. And it ranges anywhere from about $1,500 to $2,500, usually speaking. That's just for the flower. That's decorations and flowers on these tables that your guests are showing up, right? So let's just say on the low side, I spend $1,500 in decorations, flowers. Okay, this is what happens. People walk into your venue and say, "Oh, this is nice. This looks good. Oh, look at the pretty centerpiece on here." 45 seconds, they're done. They done forgot all about the decorations. They done forgot all about the centerpiece. Then at the end of the night, so people don't forget about them, you decide to give them away here. Just so you pretty much just bought somebody $1,500 worth of flowers. I get it, great, but a DJ works a lot longer than 45 seconds. So nobody's going to say, oh, there's a DJ here, and then forget about the DJ. No. They're there all night to entertain you, all night to entertain the guests, all night to make announcements, and just to make sure everything goes smooth. So other than your coordinator, which kind of, usually after the ceremony, she's done. She's like, okay, I'm pretty much done after the ceremony. They kind of touch base and cue us in on what time the first dance is going to happen, or the grand entrance, father-daughter dance, things of that nature. They kind of cue us in on that. But for the most part, you can pay a pretty penny for a coordinator, and usually they're going to be roughly at $1,000. So we get it. Like I said, you can, do the comparison if you want, and nothing against coordinators or flowers or anything like that. I'm just letting you know the importance of having entertainment at your reception or at your event, period. We do a lot of work. So just something to think about. When time comes and you're looking for a DJ and you're really trying to budget this DJ, just understand the workflow that he actually has. It's a lot more in depth than just putting some flowers on the center of a table. So, right? Photographers, again, I get it. $2,500, $3,000 for pictures. But pictures are memories. These are something that's going to stick with you forever. So you kind of need that. You get videographer, you got your DVDs of how the wedding went, and you got your pictures to put in your photo albums and stuff like that. So those are things that's a must. Then you have to feed your guests, right? 150 people, you're looking probably at a budget of $6,000 to $7,000, just depending on what you eat. Now, a lot of people try to play it a little cheaper and get a taco bar, and to where people can just walk up and grab their tacos, and that's probably the way to do it. But still, even feeding 150 people, you still looking at a good budget, no less than like $4,000 just to feed those people. So unless you got to hook up somewhere that's cheap, kudos to you. But again, spending a lot of food or a lot of money on food. So I was even told this, for like a cocktail hour, just a veggie tray, just on a rough estimate, what it costs for a veggie tray. Did you know just for the average person, a veggie tray runs at about $7.50 per person, just for a veggie tray? Especially in today's times, food is expensive, right? So if you do the math, 7 times 150 people. Again, not everybody's going to eat veggies, but for the ones that do, you're looking to pay a pretty good penny for that. And to say that price is comparable for somebody that's going to take, months to prepare for you, hours on the day to make sure that everything goes smooth, yeah, the DJ is kind of a big deal. So just something to think about, ladies, gentlemen, when you're planning your wedding. Do not do this on your own. Do not put a playlist together, because the people there, your guests will bail on you and go somewhere else where there is entertainment. Trust me, I've seen it done. And just wanted to give you that word of advice. So feel free to shoot us comments down in the section below, and we look forward to talking to you soon. Peace.